With the shards now in their possession, Sir Nicholas called upon the power granted to him by the Arbiter. Welcome to Raid Story Legends with me, LeilaFox. Hi there, welcome to Raid Story Legends. I am LeilaFox. This is a weekly YouTube series that I share that I talk about lore from some of our favorite champions from the Raid Shadow Legends universe. Today's story is going to be part 2, and it goes to Quest in the Heart of Winter. Now, forewarned, if you did not see my first video, I'm going to make sure that I have it linked down below. You are going to want to check out Quest to the Heart of Winter Part 1 before you listen to today's story, because you're going to find that the story involves 4 of our favorite champions: Sir Nicholas, Lyssandra, Mountain King, and Elhain. So make sure you check that out. I will have the link down below for Quest to the Heart of Winter Part 1. And right now I will share with you Quest to the Heart of Winter Part 2, and I hope you enjoy. Here is Quest to the Heart of Winter Part 2. Sir Nicholas and his companions barely had enough time to take shelter in the cave before the merciless wave of snow and rocks crashed against the entrance, blocking their escape. Although their hearts were gripped with sorrow and anger, Lumea's champions would not let Elhain's sacrifice be in vain. They suppressed their grief and followed the twisting tunnel in search of a way back to the surface, their path illuminated by Lyssandra's spells. The cave that the company found themselves in was ancient, its walls stained with rime and ancient cracks. Intricate formations of glowing crystals sprung forth here and there, and the deeper Sir Nicholas's band of champions progressed, the more wondrous they became. And among these magical crystals, Lyssandra saw runes carved into the stone. Those belonged to neither Elvish nor Dwarven tongues, yet her long years of scholarship under the gaze of Aravia's finest tutors allowed Lyssandra to decipher the script. It spoke of the battle between the Jotuns and the Hordes of Darkness, of Lumea's chosen who led a valiant defense and carried out the ritual that had encased the font in ice. These champions, the writing said, hid their shards so that only the pure of heart could find them. Together, they would once more have the power to wrest the Winterlands from Sirath's grasp. Onwards, into the depth of the cave they forged ahead, guided by the runes and a flicker of light that guttered on Lyssandra's palm. The tunnel kept on turning and winding and branching out into multiple narrow passages. Each could lead the unwary to a dead end or worse. But with Lyssandra's keen elven eyes finding and deciphering the runes, the company managed to find their way through this frozen maze. The champions marched for what seemed like hours, steeling themselves against the freezing cold. But, at long last, they came upon a cavern so vast, its vaulting ceilings disappeared from sight. Much of the chamber was taken by massive ice that had frozen around the cavern's natural walls. Still, within that ice, the company could see 2 shards glowing in the darkness upon an altar of stone. While Sir Nicholas and Lyssandra debated on how best to reach these shards, the Mountain King stepped forth and shattered the glacier with a mighty cleave of his axe. Though bemused by their companion's graceless approach, the others could not argue with its efficiency. With the shards now in their possession, Sir Nicholas called upon the power granted to him by the Arbiter and the summoning altar that had been left untouched by the destruction of the glacier. In a brilliant flash of golden light, 2 champions stepped forth and bent their knee. An honorable knight clad in white armor, and a warrior that was half man, half bear, his strength evident even at a glance. The mysterious champions explained that they were warriors sworn to the protection of Lumea's font, and led the Jotuns in a battle against the undead, before the strength of the giants was spent and the font had to be magically sealed. But now, with Sir Nicholas and his allies finally discovering their resting place, they knew the time had come to heed the goddess's call once more and raise their weapons against the minions of Sirath. Together, the company and their new friends made haste back to the surface. The journey was arduous, but the returned champions knew a direct way to the font, one that lay through the very heart of the mountain. Through tunnels overgrown with jagged crystals and through frozen underground lakes, Sir Nicholas's host battled past frost-skinned trolls and other vicious beasts that dwelled underground. Their determination was eventually rewarded with a gust of chilling wind that smelt of snow and ice and freedom at last. Alas, the forces of evil were waiting for them once more, and when the company emerged to a hidden plateau where the font lay, they came face to face with the mastermind behind their misfortunes. A massive figure encased in black armor, whose eyes burned with cold fire and whose body was pierced with shards of ice, stood before them. The few surviving undead paced and growled as they surrounded the champions, ready to lunge at them at any moment. But, worst of all, a creature that was once Elhain stood at the Black Knight's side. Pale and bloodless, with her eyes burning like eldritch flame, much like those of her new master. The noble elf warrior seemed a shadow of her former self, yet no less capable. Their righteous fury roused by the sight of what had become of their friend, the company prepared to do battle that would decide the fate of Lumea's Font and the Winterlands at large. And, were triumphant, perhaps Elhain could be restored by the magic of the life-giving waters. I hope you enjoyed this story. This is Quest of the Heart of Winter Part 2. And what I find so fun about this is when we go back with the story, so we start Quest of the Heart of Winter with Sir Nicholas, Elhain, Lyssandra, and Mountain King. We get a glimmer of Werlem as well from the first part. Now in this part, Elhain is missing, and we know why, as we see at the end of the story, is because she becomes Dark Elhain. But what we have in the story is we have two new champions that are added. We have Stag Knight and we have Ursine Icecrusher. So I think that is so much of fun because these two champions also fit very, very well into this winter frozen story. I would love to know what you guys think. Leave me some comments down below. If you enjoyed these stories, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, maybe hit the like button, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. All of that helps me to know that you guys appreciate the content. Also helps the algorithm as well, so that more people get to see these lore stories. I hope you enjoyed this story. I look forward to sharing more of my Raid Story Legends with you, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our video, you can catch us live on twitch.tv/LeilaFox 4 days a week, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and be part of our community, and we'll see you there.